I'm Katrina and this is So in Tare, and today we are going for a wildflower hike. It's my birthday. By the time you guys see it, it's gonna be yesterday. It's my birthday and I want to go for a flower hike, and we are going for a flower hike. Come along and we'll show you all the pretty flowers. Here's our first flower. This is a ranunculus, I believe. Buttercup. And you can see it's all the way up this hillside. All that yellow is the same. So this yellow orange one right here is called fiddlehead, or fiddleneck, and it actually becomes quite the nasty plant to get out of your socks. We've got some fillery here, the purple flower. This purple flower here is fillery. We got a whole field of those two and some different grasses. See that white patch up there? That's a whole nother set of flowers. Don't have my binoculars, so I can't really tell you what kind. Pretty colors. Alright guys, listen. Listen. You hear that? It's not a bird. That's a ground squirrel. Look at your chubby cheeks. Oh. So it's just shoving everything in its mouth. They also like to lay on their bellies in the sun. This guy's laying on its belly and foraging at the same time.
Crawl.
What are you doing, dude? What are you doing? What's up with that? This one's too busy to be bothered by us. We're like, what, 10, 15 feet away? Hi, little guy. That's a pretty young one, too. Alrighty, here's a plant that does not have a name you would expect. It has purple flowers. Very pretty, right? There's one plant right there with them 3 flowers, 4 flowers you can see. This is called blue-eyed grass. It's not a grass, and it's purple. I don't want to focus. This flower is also purple. You can see how tiny it is. This is also a fillery. We found a couple different kind of filleries here, and it will turn into a long, funky-looking seed pod. All this water has provided us a stream. This is a seasonal stream that just flows with water and then dries up in the summer. And it is flowing pretty good. We have several different flowers here. I'll have to zoom in. See all those yellow flowers? We have a couple of other kinds. We have lots of different kinds in here. Well, this yellow flower, let's see if I can zoom in on this one. I'm staying on the trail, guys, for all this. So that yellow flower, you guys recognize it? Looks very familiar for those that plant flowers. Yeah, it looks very familiar. That is called a Johnny Jump Up. That is our native viola, or viola. Pretty cool. And then that thing with the pom-poms in front of it, that is another flower which I've forgotten its name. I thought it was buckwheat, but now I'm thinking it's not. And I don't think we'll find flowers of this, but that leaf, that thick leaf right there, that is from wavy leaf soaproot, and it has a pretty flower when it flowers, but it's not flowering yet. But look at all those flowers. Another flower that's in here, see all those tall skinny things? They have a little white flower. It's really hard to see. Anyway, I don't know its name, but it's all over this hillside. It was such a nice sunny time out there today. Alright, you guys learned this one in the foraging one. That right there is miner's lettuce. And it has a spire and the little white flower. Alright guys, here is a silly name coming up for you. You see this one? It's on a long spire with a purple floof at the end. What would you guys name that one? Huh? What would you name that if you had to name it? Here comes a funny name. Don't laugh. It's called Blue Dicks. Yup, that's what someone named it. Alright, you can see all those little purple spots there. You now know what they're called. So I found one off the trail. You can see what the flowers look like. Like I said, I'm not leaving the trail for this hike. Super muddy conditions. But there's a flower. We have some other little white flowers over here. I actually don't remember the name of that one, but they're little and delicate and nice. And look at all that yellow, all that ranunculus down by our little seasonal creek there. Very cool. Got a sentinel. Hi, squirrel. There's more blue dicks and poison oak. Look at all. This is a different kind of fillery, but they have very similar seeds. These are seeds. They're pretty cool. They're nasty on people and dogs and stuff like that, but humidity, change in humidity makes them screw their own seed into the ground. So that's pretty cool, evolutionarily. This right here, this is a wetland plant, but you can see its flowers are fairly nondescript, just like grass flowers. Tons of ranunculus over there and all the way down the hill, all the way on the other hill. I don't know if you guys can see all of that, but all of that is a buttercup. So I have been looking at this plant and it has not had flowers, so this is the first flower I've seen of this. This is a Vicia or vetch. That's in the pea family and is a nitrogen fixer. There's the blue-eyed grass, a little closer. Cool little flowers. I like those guys. There's a couple more fun ones. I do not recall the name of this one. I want to say popcorn flower, but I think I'm wrong. Somebody correct me. Fill focus. And this guy is just fun, and I don't know the name. Pretty cool, huh? Pretty cool. I don't recall the name of this one. It's a nitrogen fixer. I think it starts with deer something. I may be wrong, but little teeny tiny yellow flowers. And here's a close-up of the wavy leaf soaproot. You can see that one right there. There's a stick sticking out of it. That's the old flower spear from last year. But they're pretty cool looking plants. Here's a fiddleneck closer to the trail, so I can actually show you. But it looks like it has a double row of flowers. And then just has like a fiddle neck, like on the end of a fiddle. It rolls up. Pretty cool looking, but terrible to get in your socks. Okay guys, I need my plant people. I believe this is a popcorn flower. Somebody tell me. See if I can get it to focus. And this is a somewhat serpentine area. So that's what all this white is on top of the hill. It's whatever flower that is. All the way down there. So here's this really delicate flower. Has the white pods, or white flowers. And it has these super fun little pods. I thought this was shepherd's purse, but it might not be. You have to look this up. Or maybe I won't, you guys will tell me. But those are the little pods for the seeds. They're pretty cool. Alright guys, here's a fun one. You can see this, and that one, and this one. They all look like shooting stars. What's the name? We have a white one over there. Pretty cool. And over here, I'm going to go to a close one so we can see them. I don't recall the name of this. I think it starts with a G. But it's very pretty. Purple on the outside with white on the inside. Little bluish stamen. Very cool. There's another fun one. Also in the pea family. This is a buckeye tree, and they're not flowering yet, but you guys see all those spikes? Those are going to be nice flower spikes. They look very cool when they're in full flower. Lupin! Lots of different kinds of lupin. This is one of our many native kinds. Very cool. So some of these flowers that they're showing you can be seen from quite a distance. I'll zoom in later, but I can see flowers all the way over on the hills over there, on the hills over here, and they are just in mass, and you can see them from quite a distance. So let me show you those things at a distance. So all the way over there, that bright yellow, I mean that bright orange. It doesn't want to focus. There we go. That's going to be California poppy. That's pretty much the only big bright flower that's orange out here. And on top of the hill there, you can see a whole bunch of yellow. Very cool. And you can see that from all the way over here. So we're on kind of the top of the hill here. There's lots of different species of flowers all the way down. Everything looks super healthy right now. But right here is another species. And there's some sort of clover. I was thinking from a distance it was owl clover, but it's not. It's some sort of clover though, which is pretty cool. It looks like one of the native ones. So what do you think of our wildflower walk so far?
It's pretty cool. Nice and green mountains.
The green mountains are what you like best about the wildflower walk?
No, I like the flowers.
Which one is your favorite so far?
I like the purple ones. I like one of your favorites that you mentioned several times.
Which one?
The blue ticks.
They're pretty, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They have the best color.
Yep. And then there's other purple ones here too. So.
Yeah.
All right, we're continuing. Hopefully we'll find one closer to the trail, but that little pink guy right there is called checker bloom, and it's a pretty flower. I love that my camera has a zoom. Here is a little stand of mugwort. You guys learned that in the foraging video. Here's a little patch of spread out poppies. Bright, bright orange. California's native, this is California's state flower. There's the poppy. There's a checker bloom. A lot of public land is grazed by cattle, and so always leave gates open if you find them open, and leave gates closed if you find them closed. Hi, cattle. Hi, mama. Hi, baby. Baby's curious. Mama doesn't care. This right here is just starting to open, and it's not near the path, so I can't show you the flowers, but this is called bee balm. It's a native plant with teeny flowers, which the bees love. There we go. There's the flowers. So we have this hill over here that has tons and tons of moss. Now, this is because it's green because it's been raining. Has a lot of moisture, and the moisture wakes up the moss and it turns green. When it's not awake, doesn't mean it's dead. It's brown, it's crispy, it's dried up, it's just waiting for water. And I have a story about a conversation on the phone with my dad. We were talking about the backyard. This is up in Central Oregon, talking about the backyard, and I said something about the moss on the rocks, and he didn't know what I was talking about. Don't know how he didn't know this, but I said, he's like, "What are you talking about? We don't have moss." Now he grew up in California, and they have this kind of moss that's like, there's moss that's always there. There's moss that is most of the time there. In Oregon, there's moss that sometimes looks alive. So I told him to go outside and spit on a rock. It turned green. So, just because a moss looks dead doesn't mean it is. This is what some of that moss looks like. That's still alive. When it gets more moisture, it'll get greener. And that's in a really good spot. It's nice green. All these little shrubbies here are sticky monkey flower. It's a orange flower, but they're not flowering yet. I don't remember this one's name. It has little tiny, focus. It has little tiny yellow flowers and these big leaves. I want to say snake root, but I might be wrong. More Johnny Jump Up and Lupin. I love that mixture of colors. So pretty. This is Johnny Jump Up, which is a viola, or viola. It is edible, but you should really keep it there because there are some species of butterfly that have this as their host plant. So, if you want to help out butterflies, plant this. I want to say this is Balsam oryza, but I think that's one that looks very similar to this. Anyway, big leaves, big yellow flowers next to the poison oak. I believe we have found some red maids. They may pair well with our funny sounding flower from earlier in the video. Another native. Checker bloom. Not sure why. There's no checkers. Maybe it has a checkered past. Maybe you have to check your bloom. raspberries about to flower. Guys, this is a different kind of lupin. I told you there's many different kinds. This is a bigger one. So we're out here in the hills and finding some great flowers. I want to encourage you guys to find great flowers too. Now the thing about wildflower hikes is that you'll see something and a few weeks later you'll see something else, and it'll just keep on going and you'll be able to see different flowers in the same area throughout time. So get out there and look for some wildflowers. It was muddy on the trails. We escaped without slipping too much. This is a little California ground squirrel enjoying a lunch. I hope you've enjoyed this video and enjoy this slideshow that's happening right now. And if you liked this, please give it a thumbs up on your way out. And if you have not subscribed yet, go ahead and subscribe and hit the bell notification so you get all the notifications. If you don't get all the notifications, you don't get to be notified of fun things like this video. So I encourage you to do that. Please share this with a friend who needs some outdoor time and encouragement in going into the outdoors. Right now is a perfect time for looking at wildflowers. And thank you for watching. I'm going to leave this with a slideshow and then a little bit of just watching the flowers on the way out. Thank you for watching. Have a great day.